Your host for Motor Week, John Davis.
Well, hello and welcome again to Motor Week. We're glad to have you with us. By now, everyone that's into cars has heard the accolades heaped upon the Hyundai Genesis. We even picked this stylish sedan as our best luxury car of the year. But is Genesis really a new beginning for a more upscale Hyundai? Well, that's where the new Genesis Coupe has to prove itself. So let's see if Genesis can evolve into a full car line and not just be a one-hit wonder. It's true that the Genesis sedan and the new 2010 Hyundai Genesis Coupe share the same nameplate, the same basic rear-wheel drive architecture, and a bit of overlap in powertrains. But beyond that, they struck us as two very different cars. The plush four-door sedan competes with the likes of the BMW 5 Series and Lexus GS. But the two-door coupe is more a Korean counter to Detroit's muscle stalwarts Camaro and Mustang, with an eye on the G37 Infiniti Coupe. In terms of form, the Genesis Coupe takes on a truly low-slung but aggressive look. Like the Tiburon before it, its proportions, rake stance, exaggerated haunches, and powerful curves are right out of the contemporary Japanese sports coupe textbook. Glaring xenon HID headlamps spearhead the coupe's short bulldog snout, and its fast profile wears a flowing belt line contrasted by jagged Z character lines. 18 or 19-inch alloys, a stubby rear deck, bright exhaust tips, and available spoiler punctuate the performance look. And to put substance to that look, the Genesis Coupe sports either a nicely exposed 2-liter turbocharged 4, good for 210 horsepower and 223 pound-feet of torque, or the sedan's 3.8-liter V6 with 306 horses and 266 pound-feet of torque. There is no V8. With 6-speed manual standard, the i4 can be tied to a 5-speed automatic, while the V6 Auto is a 6-speed. Both autos with steering wheel paddle shifters. Flicking them for all they're worth, our 3.8 V6 jumped sharply from 0 to 60 in 6.1 seconds and finished the quarter mile in 14.4 seconds at 100 miles per hour. Torque at launch was exceptional, building steadily with no dead spots. Gear changes were fairly quick and very smooth, though the steering wheel shifters felt cheap and hokey. Overall, however, the V6 Genesis Coupe is swift and entertaining in a straight line. For turns, our Grand Touring Coupe has the standard Sport Tune suspension, braced McPherson struts up front, and a 5-link design in the rear. Electronic stability and traction control come standard. Through the cone, the coupe felt smaller and lighter than its 3,400-pound weight would indicate. Grippy tires and a planted chassis give this car a ton of agility, and there's virtually no body roll. The coupe is quick to turn with just a mild touch of understeer, and when pushed hard, it remains both nimble and very well balanced. Yes, it's fun. But as to ride quality, our GT felt more sporty than premium. You know, every bump in the road. Track models don even stiffer springs and shocks that might make it tiring as a daily driver. All coupes come with ABS disc brakes with brake assist, 4-piston Brembos on track models. With standard brakes, stops were straight, stable, and smooth, averaging a decent 130 feet from 60 to 0. Inside, the Genesis Coupe is also visibly a different venue than the sedan. The stylish cockpit says serious sports coupe. In fact, the tight gauge cluster would be at home on many an exotic. But materials and fit and finish, like in the Genesis sedan, exceed even premium status. Mid-level Grand Touring trim includes leather on the well-bolstered bucket seats, with heat and power adjust for the driver. The 3-spoke steering wheel makes for a nice grip with controls for audio and cruise. There's also a standard information display, hands-free Bluetooth, and an iPod interface. And to pump out those tunes, there's an Infiniti 10-speaker audio system. The 2-passenger rear seating area is relatively easy to access and offers ample legroom, but the car's plunging roofline takes headroom down to child size. Best to fold the split seats down to expand the small 10 cubic foot trunk. The trunk opening is also small, and very non-premium U-shaped hinges may give your luggage a crushing blow. Government fuel economy ratings for our V6 automatic coupe are 17 city, 27 highway on regular gas. We achieved 23.1 in real-world driving, and we're pretty pleased with it. The 2.0T does about 10% better. The V6's energy impact score is 16.3 barrels of oil per year, with a carbon footprint of 8.7 tons of CO2. Staying true to Hyundai's formula for affordability, prices are also closer to Camaro than to the G37. The 2.0T starts at $22,750, while the 3.8 starts at $25,750. Still, up-level trims and options will easily take this coupe over the $30,000 mark. But with such a spread and a great powertrain warranty, the Genesis Coupe should appeal to a much wider demographic than the sedan. So that's the 2010 Hyundai Genesis Coupe. But rather than adding to the prestige of the Genesis car line, it comes off as more of a mainstream Hyundai. Now, that doesn't mean that it's not a terrific effort. It truly is. And more proof that Hyundai has evolved into a brand that no rival, import or domestic, can take for granted.